Welcome to the Wiscard of Oz. We've got very exciting guests today, and I'm very excited to have them here. So we're going to have you all introduce yourselves with your names and your pronouns, and then I'm going to give you some introductions, and then we'll do a fun little activity. Joe, you want to start?
Absolutely. My name is Joe Wood, and my pronouns are he, him, and his.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nasia Logan. My pronouns are she, her, and hers.
Hi, I'm Tori Perez, and my pronouns are she, her.
All right. So, some introductions so you guys know who our guests are. So, we'll start with Tori. Tori Perez was born and raised in Geneseo, New York. She now lives in Oswego, New York. When Tori has breaks from school, she enjoys being a one-to-one aide and subbing at the Geneseo Central School District. Tori recently got a new kitten named Dorothea, who is 9 months old. In her free time, Tori enjoys working out, reading, and watching movies. Tori says that her biggest strengths include her leadership and teamwork skills. She enjoys hearing other perspectives and collaboratively coming up with solutions. Tori has been described as empathetic, dedicated, and nurturing. How was that? Good introduction?
Very good. I'm just thinking after I was yelling at you guys, like, we're doing this.
All right. Nasia Logan was born and raised in Rome, New York, and she is currently living in Oswego, New York. One of Nasia's recent accomplishments was graduating from Lemoyne last May. Another major event for Nasia happened in November, when she had the experience of going on the local news show Bridge Street and the local radio station K-Rock to promote school psychology with our very own Dr. Michelle Story. In her free time, Nasia likes to read historical fiction books, explore local places, listen to any song written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and play tennis if she can find a good opponent. Nasia says her biggest strengths are her empathy and her patience. Nasia has been described as zestful, optimistic, and empathetic. Good introduction? All right. All right. Joe Wood was born in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Since then, he has lived in Newport News, Virginia, Buffalo, New York, and currently lives in Oswego, New York. Joe is an Eagle Scout, he was an NIH Amgen Scholar, and he was a preschool TA. During his undergrad at Canisius University, Joe was a research assistant and he was the editor of the school magazine Quadrangle. A fun fact about Joe is that he was a Macy's Day balloon handler for 3 years.
3 years is a long time.
You better believe it.
It's a competitive field.
Some exciting news in Joe's life. He got married in July 2022. He also has published 1 poem and 4 short stories. In his free time, Joe likes to read, write, sing, and cook. He can also knit. Joe says that his biggest strength is his heart. Joe has been described as dogged, tactful, and goofy. Yeah, so I feel like we need more information about that whole Macy's Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Now there was 3 years in a row. The first one was Charlie Brown. The second one was the Diary of the Wimpy Kid float, where I got to meet Jeff Kinney, who's really tall. He's a very tall man. His son is also very tall. That's the only thing I remember. And then Sonic the Hedgehog was the most recent one. And then I retired.
Wow. I'm so jealous. You met Jeff Kinney.
How old are you?
I mean, you can't. The balloon handling game is a young man's game.
What age were you?
Well, it was like 2 years ago.
So, how do you get a job like that?
Nepotism.
Oh, okay.
You know someone, you know someone.
All right. So, something that we ask all of our guests to start off. First, what are you most passionate about within school psychology? So, in the field of school psychology, what are you most passionate about? Nasi, you want to start us off this time?
Sure. I think the field is a lot of helping children with learning disabilities. And so I'm really passionate about like going beyond that and helping the kids that you wouldn't think would have any issues, like that have rough home lives and things like that, and giving them the opportunities to thrive in school as well.
Awesome. Joe?
Yeah, I really resonate with what Nasi said about going beyond. And for me, it's taking the books that kids love and helping them to kind of be authors in their own lives, to push past the stories that they're given and then to help them write their own stories.
It's an interesting perspective. Tori.
For me, my passion, one thing I really like about school psychology is getting to work with teachers and administration to really do the whole wellness of the student to reach academic highs as well as social, emotional, and just really make sure the kid has the tools to thrive in and out of school.
Our next question that we ask everyone is, what are you most passionate about outside of school psychology, so like in your personal or other professional lives? Yes, Tori, will start with you.
This one was hard for me because we're so lucky to have like such a cool job. I love it. So it kind of goes hand in hand, but outside of school psych, I love just advocating for students, but then also just for women's rights and LGBTQ plus rights. I really enjoy doing that, and I've done it since like high school. So
I like camping. I think I like nature. I like to center myself there. I think there should be a space everyone has to get away from people, even though I like them. People are cool.
Yeah. Our job has a lot of talking to people, so it can be helpful to get away for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of related, but not related field. I'm passionate about children. Outside of the field, I'm passionate about tennis. I really like tennis. So.
All right. So now we're going to do a little activity. So, have any of you played Connections?
No.
The New York Times game Connections?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Wow.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Oh, interesting. All right. So, Connections is this game where there's 16 words. Okay, there's 16 words, and you have to connect them in some way. So they all have some connection. Okay, so you have to connect the 4 categories. So there's going to be 4 categories. Each of them have 4 words in it. Okay, so we're going to play what's called School Psych Connections, and I'll pull it up and show it to you. All right. So this is what it looks like.
Oh, I have played this.
Oh my
I
goodness.
have. This is hard.
Okay.
Stop.
That's a lot
So
of
No,
words.
it is hard.
So I've already done all of these, so I won't participate until if you guys get desperate, then I'll try to chime in, because I don't necessarily remember what the answers were, but I think I do.
I played the first one,
Yeah.
and it was so hard, so I didn't play again.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
There's some
I was-
definitive
I
answers.
was-
There are some like where
No, I
it could
did
have
do
fit
this
into
one.
another category, but then you have to like kind of plan out what the other categories are to see what the 4 in each category are. All right.
Challenge accepted.
So I'll
Are we
read
playing
out.
together?
Yeah,
Okay,
together.
good.
I'll read out the words, and then you guys can all discuss what you think.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And for those who are listening who are decades into their career, don't judge us.
Yeah.
Feel free to judge us. I'm ready.
It's hard if you don't know the field
Yeah.
yet. You're learning.
I'm trying my best.
This game is some of these are so hard.
Yeah. All right. So just for our viewers or listeners, if you look up School Psych Connections, it'll be there, but I think it's schoolpsych.com. And we're on game number 15. So the words are grades, superior, delayed, collaboration, at risk, partnership, exceptional, engagement, cooperation, tests, elevated, observations, average, talented, interviews, advanced. All
So
right.
those all go together?
No,
No.
no,
So
no,
there's
no,
gonna
gotta
be-
find 4 that
Sets
go
of
together.
4.
Okay, because I was about to say
So-
school.
We can do
School psychology.
average
How
and
many-
superior are
you
going to
don't-
go
There's
together.
no limit, right?
So
Average
why don't we
and
make everything
superior?
together?
Because they're going to be descriptions of
Okay.
I like
And
where
then
your head's at.
exceptional, because wouldn't that also be an a category?
So I don't know. We haven't done
So
a
is
test
this
with
like-
exceptional as one.
Superior. Well, you don't do that in New York.
It's like a matching.
Oh,
game.
you're right. You're right.
Mhm.
We're in New York.
Exceptional.
Wait, we're in New York?
Could
you
go back to North Carolina
Delayed,
or wherever you've been?
maybe superior, delayed, exceptional,
Average.
average. That's it. That's all you get to do.
So we submit now, right?
If you all agree on that.
Do
I
we
think.
agree?
Oh,
I agree.
Are we
That's-
sure?
I'm not sure.
No one is.
Oh, there's also advanced guys. I
Oh
hate to
my
say it. I feel like we
Which one
should
do you wanna
take
get
out
rid of?
exceptional and put in advanced.
Okay.
So we're superior, delayed, average, advanced.
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Guys. Okay, submit.
Oh,
What does
wasn't
that mean?
right.
Oh.
Like none
Okay,
of
Oh
them?
Wait a minute.
None of them?
Usually there's, if it's one
What if we
away,
do
it
tests,
pops up with a message.
observations,
So.
interviews,
So we were so wrong.
and
Uh-huh.
what's another one?
She's
Tests,
off to the races.
Observation, interviews.
In,
Partnership?
Acronym that
No.
goes with this.
Really?
grades, maybe?
Oh,
works.
like the
Yeah.
riot?
Or do we agree?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not
submit.
penalized.
Woo!
for it.
Yay!
Sources of data! All that data.
Okay.
Aw. Guys, that was so good.
Um,
Let's try like at risk. That's a good one.
Wow, really?
I,
Got the ball
I
going.
felt as though.
Wow.
Drawn to it.
wait, what if we
Delayed.
did partnership, cooperation, collaboration,
Let's do it.
Partnership, collaboration,
Cooperation.
cooperation. One more.
Friendship.
Exceptional.
Mm,
Engagement.
Yeah, sure.
Yay!
That
Why is
one-
that
okay,
green?
okay,
Like, are the
okay.
colors
They're
green?
different colors. So
That
no,
one's
it's just like
parent
one is yellow,
involvement.
one's green, one's blue, one's
The
purple.
first one I did
So
was
it's-
all like.
So the
tests
first
and
one
stuff.
was
That first one
sources
was
of
hard.
data, and then this one's parent involvement. So we have two more.
So you imagine it would get easier from this point.
You
In
would
the
think,
in the
wouldn't you?
original, in
I'm
the
still
original,
stuck on the first group. That was wrong though.
I don't know if it is the same with this, but in the original, it's easiest to hardest: yellow, green, blue, purple.
Oh, so it's
So if it
harder.
follows those colors, then
Oh,
Okay.
snap.
You've got the
Okay.
hardest.
There's only
Okay.
so many
I
options
didn't
left.
know that.
Talented, superior,
Exceptional and advanced.
exceptional,
Or-
advanced.
Oh
What about
man.
elevated?
But then these don't make sense. Like the ones that are left
no,
for the last
I think
group.
I like these four. Let's do it.
Oh,
You do?
okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Because what they're, I think, elevated in this.
We're
Actually,
from
Well,
New
this has
York.
to be a group.
We don't have gifted.
Qualitative
Qualitative.
Oh, duh, guys.
Oh my god.
You know why?
Good
Because
job.
We've never
elevated.
done at-risk.
Yeah, elevated we don't do.
And we've never done elevated.
Well, that's okay.
Or delayed. I don't
I
think
think
we've
we
done
did.
delayed either.
We did good.
I mean, by definition, we completed it.
Yeah.
I only got one
I'm
wrong.
about to go back and try these again.
Yeah, and you only got one mistake.
That's very
Good job.
impressive.
That was awesome.
We're so smart. I carried.
Joe,
Alright.
go home.
Oh my God.
You guys did so good.
So just for our listeners, so sources of data was grades, interviews, observations, tests, and Tori mentioned the acronym RIOT, which is review of records, interviews,
That was
observations,
so
tests.
intelligent.
That was great.
Next one was parent involvement, collaboration, cooperation, engagement, partnership. Next one was gifted, advanced, exceptional, superior, talented. And the next was qualitative descriptions, at risk, average, delayed, elevated. And I think that was confusing because some of the gifted terms could also be qualitative
Yeah, we were
descriptors like
mixing up
superior.
We're
those two
from
up.
New York. We don't
Yeah.
do gifted.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Good job. So you guys are all first years and you're fellows. I am a fellow too, but Sophia and I are both second years. So I wanted to first start out by asking you guys, just to get a look into how you got here, what led to you deciding to go into school psychology? Let's start with Nasia.
Okay. Originally going into college, I wanted to be a lawyer, but you can go into undergrad doing any major. So someone said, you want to work with kids? Do psychology. So I was like, sure. Then I spent the summer going into my junior year studying for the LSAT, and I hated it. And so then I was talking to my advisor, and he was like, well, you can work with kids as a psychologist as well and do the same thing through forensic psychology. So I was looking into that. And then I took abnormal psych with a school psychologist, and I really enjoyed that class. And I did an internship under a school psychologist, and I kind of just fell into school psychology.
Wow. How was the internship?
It was
Good.
great.
Yeah.
It was a fun experience. I got to see the Syracuse City School District in all its glory. So it was a good time.
All right, Tori?
Me? So I've always been kind of in education. My mom is a special education teacher. So I've always kind of been drawn towards going in school counseling or teaching. And I didn't really know much about school psych. And with the other education fields like administration, something was missing, but I didn't know what. Like teaching wasn't calling my name, but everyone kind of wanted me to go into teaching because everyone in my family does that. And I actually took a stats course and I loved statistics. And I majored in undergrad for psychology. So like school psychology kind of took my love for stats as well as psychology and combined them. And I also love education and helping kids. So it's perfect.
I like that you highlighted the stats part because I feel like a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Stats is involved with school psychology.
That's like a huge
Yeah.
part, like analyzing the data and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I'm obsessed. I love like looking at the scores and comparing it. I love that part.
Yeah. Awesome. Joe?
I heard there was a lot of writing in this field. And that was definitely the open door moment. And mostly, I think every project I've ever worked on, my favorite people to work with were the school psychologists. So I'd love to embody that with different avenues going forward.
Okay, our next question, seeing as we're in the second semester of your first year, how was your first semester, and what were the highs and the lows? We'll go with Joe.
Let's see. The first semester was definitely solid. I really enjoyed getting to know my cohort. I definitely got the most sleep at the start and at the end of the semester. It's kind of like a bell curve.
Yeah.
So it's really just time management was something that I had to acquire over the course of the semester.
I think a high of the semester is like being able to show myself I was able to complete such an intense course load. I think it's very easy to feel you're not smart enough to be in such an amazing program around my cohort. Like, they are so impressive. I admire so many of them because they're just so smart. So kind of a low was just that mental game of feeling like I'm going to be able to make it through. I've always kind of taken advanced courses, and I honestly was fine in all of my advanced courses. I'm very good at time management and getting things done. So then to go into grad school and kind of struggle with that was crazy. And so like being able to get through it was a good feeling.
Marcia?
Okay. I think my high points from last semester were probably when I finally got the hang of report writing. And I got started getting 100s on that. That was oh my gosh, so exciting. And also counseling, because counseling took me a second to understand how to do it, but now I'm oh, I got that. So those were really exciting moments. The worst moment was learning the DOS. I hate the DOS so much. I walked out of class crying that day.
Oh no!
I was no. But yeah. Which, I'm sorry, you love the DOS. I hate
I
hate it.
Getting that 10 out of 10 though, I remember texting Marcus. It was the last one. It was my last chance. I was so excited. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The day we learned the DOS, I was at home because I had COVID. And I was learning it over Zoom, and I fell asleep for 2 hours because I was violently ill.
So
I was in
Then I came back and the
I
DOS was ridiculous.
I kept looking at Dr. Story help me. And she just kept looking at me you're on your own. Girl, you literally did. I was I can't hide it. I had panic on my face, and she kept looking at me
I'm not gonna lie, you kind of look pretty much the same as the rest of the semester.
It's just natural
I'll
panic.
be on guard from now on.
It was extra panic that day.
Yeah, the DOS is the differential ability scales. It's a cognitive test that we learn in our first semester. It's often used for younger kids, but so there's a lot of the dynamics, I think, of the manipulatives in the test are kind of easier to deal with. There's a picture that the kids point at and things like that. But the scoring has some tricky parts to it in terms of rules that you have to follow and things like that. So people get tripped up on that. But I think a lot of the career school psychologists that I've heard from like the DOS more than a lot of the other tests. So
Yeah.
Let's go.
Interesting.
Charles.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Dr.
talking
Charles
about.
Love it.
yeah.
I think you just have to get used to it.
Yeah.
I've
mhm.
already sworn I'm never giving a DOS. So we're not going back now.
All right. So, as I mentioned before, you're all fellows, as am I, in the CRISP Fellowship that we've talked about in this podcast. It's just an amazing opportunity, and the four of us are lucky to be part of it and be able to try to make a difference in the program and in the field. So, as first-year fellows, and the first group of fellows that have had it for the full year, because I had it in the middle of my year last year, just tell us about your experiences in the fellowship and what you've been working on, and highlight some of your accomplishments. Joe, you want to start us off?
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoyed the the myriad of options you get in the fellowship to be able to work on whatever project you kind of feel most passionate about. It was not the project I worked on for the majority of the semester, but I loved taking a brief aside to review a session at NIAS and then write that up for the NIAS annual conference review. That was really fun. Dr. Story is great about connecting us with different opportunities and kind of to shepherd us towards those goals. Currently, I'm helping her with a few presentations, so that'll be kind of fun. But going forward, I think she trusts us to be able to make the critical thinking decisions that we need to for the projects that we feel best help elevate the field.
Nasia?
I think the fellowship has been a great experience. It's given me the opportunity to go on TV, the radio, go to conferences and meet psychologists and stuff. And something I've been working on is our Instagram page, which has been pretty cool. It's been fun to keep the photos and have it be like a little time capsule for all our memories and all the stuff we're working on in our mentoring programs and stuff through social media.
Yeah. So.
I really liked reaching out to schools last semester just because it connected us to juniors and seniors looking into the school psychology programs, and just even informing people on what school psychology is was so cool to see them kind of make connections about this really diverse and cool field that allows you to do a bunch of things. I really like that the fellowship has given us that opportunity. And then I've also loved the mentoring program. That's been really cool to plan events with all of you and get to know everyone and kind of just be a supportive group to each other. I really like it.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's also allowed us to come on this podcast.
Yeah.
We didn't invite any
I
of
just
our other
love the
cohorts. That's fellows.
Yeah.
Well, now, I mean, you have Media Empire now. So,
It's trifecta.
Podcast.
Radio.
We gotta get your fans to join in. She's on another podcast. And you want to hear from her again.
Yeah, in our interest meeting that we had recently, the applicants were like, yeah, I saw Nasia on the news. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed this podcast has been one of my main projects as part of our goals to increase awareness in the field of issues related to diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice. And our other goals include recruiting more people to the field because there's a big school psychology shortage. So by starting this podcast, we're trying to kind of get the word out there about school psychology, and also through the social media that Nasia mentioned, just getting more people to see what the program's like and how fun it can be. And we're also trying to retain people in the field, which is related to another project that I've really enjoyed working on, which is the mentorship program that Tori mentioned. So last year we kind of, me and Nate and Jared, who were on the podcast before, really kind of jump-started this project to have a mentorship program, and that's to help people kind of stay in the program because there's a lot of attrition in this program because it's a lot of work and it's not for everyone. but we try to make people feel as supported as possible so that they can be successful if it turns out to be the right field for them. And it's not for everyone. If they don't know what they're getting into, then sometimes they just switch to school counseling or mental health counseling because they realize that's really what they want to do. But a lot of times it's just you kind of feel kind of what we've talked about, like kind of feel like you can't get through it, or like imposter syndrome stuff, and you end up dropping out because you don't feel supported. So we wanted to make sure that everyone had a chance to feel supported. So, and also we'll talk about the mentorship program in a second, but I've really enjoyed getting to kind of meet all of you as first year fellows and work with all of you. And it's just been a really great experience to take on that role and work with all of you. And that's been really rewarding. So our next question.
I feel left out of the fellowship.
Okay,
guys. I represent the majority, so I can't really be in it. That's fine. So I think like 3 of you in the last question alone have mentioned the mentorship program, and like you said, Marcus, this is something that we're hard launching this year. So how have you found it to be helpful? Have you found it to be helpful? Just kind of share with us what you're thinking.
So, gotta give a shout out to Nate, super cool mentor, saving my life throughout the first semester, hooking me up with his schedule, helping kind of point me in the right direction, being really funny and approachable. It really is such a great way to not only start the program, but to start it off right.
Nasia?
I think the mentorship program has been extremely helpful, and shout out to my mentor too. Shout out to you, Jared. He's been like so helpful and always willing to listen, always like available, and like has even helped me with assignments and like counseling things I needed to do, and it's just been extremely helpful for me to like want to stay in the program. And he's also like, hey, if you ever think about dropping, call me first. So it's like things like that. It's like he really wants me to thrive.
Yeah, Jared. I remember we met the second years at the time in like the middle of our semester towards the beginning. But I remember Jared saying, just stick it through the first year. If you still don't want to do it, then you can drop out. But just stick through the first year. Don't drop out before then. What's another few months?
Let's make it a Christmas.
Okay, so my mentor is the Marcus.
Whoa.
So I got super lucky. It's just so comforting to know that you have someone that is a peer that also has been through this already. And Marcus was just so great about answering my questions and calming me down. Because it's different when it's coming from, I think, a peer. You kind of believe them maybe a little bit more than someone that already is way past it. And you're like, it's just way more approachable to ask questions. And I kind of believed Marcus, and he's like, no, it's fine. You're going to pass. It's okay. And I was like, all right. And he was just so helpful at any time I needed. So I was just so thankful for Marcus.
Thank you. You've been a great mentee.
Aw. Sometimes.
Yeah, so we, as part of the mentorship program, we try to have regular meetings with our mentees. And I think those, you want to say something?
Also, something that Marcus did that he absolutely didn't need to do is he would host sessions for all the first years to really practice. And I think that opportunity was so important for us. And I don't think we would have all become friends before that, because it also was time for us to practice, but also talk. So I think that was significant for the first years to be able to practice and get together.
Which is hosted by very cool other second years as well.
I went to like one, maybe 25 minutes.
But that was a good session you came to.
It really gave us the opportunity to administer a test before we had to actually do it for real.
And he grilled us. Like, he made sure we were ready.
Marcus is like also a second year mentor. Like, I swear to God. This is the same thing you all just said to the rest of us.
I remember in our first year when we would practice testing, some of us, and it was just such a fun experience, and I think that's when we really started bonding. I still remember all those memories. So it's just these memories that stick in my mind of these specific, just fun afternoons that we had practicing with each other, and it does set you up for success. Because I remember the first time I thought, it seems easy enough. Dr. Grudo came in and gave us the lowdown on how to administer the WJ. It seems I can do it. And I practiced on my uncle, and it was just a complete disaster. I texted the group chat, and I was like, it's not going to work out for us. We got to start practice testing. So that's something that I wanted to make sure we prioritized when we started the mentorship program, because it was such a bonding experience, and it was good practice to set us up for success. So I'm glad that you all found that helpful.
It was.
And I hope it can continue in the future. You guys can host. No.
We're all like, you can do it.
I
I'll still be around.
Popcorn.
We'll do it. We'll continue it. Yeah, we'll continue.
Your fellow hours.
Yeah.
We're already every day. We're like, who is going to take over everything, Marcus? I don't know if 5 is enough.
Marcus is a one-man band.
He is.
And I liked grilling all of you. I liked doing like
Yeah,
I
we
like
could tell.
I liked finding like the details of like the answers that would be tricky to know what to do with.
See, that's why
ask
you
all
know
that.
it's not going to be me that's going to be doing it.
Yeah, no.
I'm always like, I feel like I'll give it credit.
Yeah.
Story's like, no. And I'm like, I
You're too
understand.
kind-hearted.
I understand what they're saying.
I'd be like, that
Marcus has
was
to
really
raise
good. They did it all wrong.
All right. So we've got a fun activity
Oh
for our
boy.
next question. So this is going to be a very introspective kind of activity. So think about your goals and dreams as a school psychologist. We're all starting in our careers. We're all early school psychologists. We're going to draw a picture to represent ourselves in the future if all of our dreams came true. So I want it really like an idyllic version of what could happen to you. So if everything came true and you got to accomplish all your goals as a school psychologist and you were just at the peak of your life, you could add some personal stuff too. We're going to draw a picture of that. And I hope we can post them on Instagram. That's all right with you, Marcia.
I'm not an artist. This
I
is
feel like I'm not going to want my post it on it.
This is maybe the stories will eventually delete.
No one look at this. I'm going to mute this. No one's going to be able to look at the story.
Such a pride.
You block all of our followers.
It's going to know the peak of my life's achievement is going to be to become a stick figure.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh, we got crayons.
Really drawn on that.
Yeah, I just had those in
Look
my
at the
bag and I was
budget
like,
for
more.
this podcast. We got crayons, colored pencils, and markers.
All right. So while we're drawing,
Jeez Louise.
I have a question just to chat about.
Yeah, this is a
It's
toughie,
my
guys.
Mahogany.
Wow. Look
So
at
we're
that.
like 3 weeks into, what is this, 3rd week of the semester. Starting to rock and roll a little bit. How are we feeling? How's it going? And then, like, what are you kind of hoping for this semester, and what are you not hoping for? Going based off of this last one, which is always very tough.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll just chat about that as we draw once we get our colored pencils passed around.
Damn.
Well, like practicum wise, I'm very excited to be in the schools again. Like after so long, even though it's overwhelming and scary, you know, to get to know everyone, but I'm excited to like meet all the kids and stuff at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there anything you're scared about for counseling practicum?
I think just meeting everyone, like that's still kind of getting out of the way for me. I haven't met all my students.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's like, will they like me? I
Yeah.
also haven't had as much experience in the middle school as I had in the elementary. So just being ready to adjust to the, you know, the culture of middle school.
Are you in a 6 to 8 building or?
Yeah. So far I have 3 6th graders and 2 7th graders.
Cool. So I'll talk a little bit about my semester so far. So I think it's going pretty well so far. I've been trying to get better habits because I've had very poor sleep habits in the past. Because it's just
Marcus doesn't sleep.
I've been sleeping more recently. I've been trying to get, it hasn't worked out the past couple of days, but I've been trying to get 7 or 8 hours. But the past couple of
Wow.
days, I haven't gotten that.
I feel like even just 7 or 8 hours of you not doing homework and just sitting in bed would be a really cool start.
Oh.
That'd be great.
Because I don't know if you even do that.
Let's not talk science fiction over here.
I'm good friends with his girlfriend, our
Right.
wonderful friend Morgan.
She's amazing.
She's amazing. Every single time I've ever had her send me a picture of anything,
Right.
Marcus is in the background doing homework.
Oh
So,
my god. I
I'm really
believe
not
it.
sure he ever stops.
Sometimes.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's going well so far. I think there's a lot of
Good.
exciting things happening. We've got some good classes. We kind of know what we're doing more in practicum now than we did when we were kind of like starting out. So we're in the same school, so we just know the staff.
That's a huge plus.
Yeah. And then got some exciting fellowship stuff that I'm excited for, like growing the mentorship program more and hopefully doing some research. I don't know how much time we'll have for that, but hopefully, and growing this podcast, which is really exciting. And my fears for the semester, I'm not going to be able to keep having a lot of sleep. I'm also I have this every semester, but just like we're starting our career and it just gets scary. Like, what if I find out that this is not what I want to do with the rest of my life? And that's kind of
It scares everyone else too.
Yeah.
Don't worry. When you
it's
start
just,
talking about
Yeah, Marcus.
I don't know. It's trying not to think about it, but but that
That's
is
crazy.
something that scares me. And just not being able to put everything out. That's always what happens. I'm not able to put everything that I want into everything because it just gets too busy. So you end up just like not putting as much as you can into your assignment, or not as much as you want into your assignments. You put everything you can into it, but not everything you want to. So yeah.
So far, it's already going downhill.
Oh no.
I'm definitely not getting the amount of sleep I want, and I don't really know what the problem is because I'm going to bed at 10 every night. But that is a huge thing for me. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm the worst person in the room. And yeah, I think practicum is just a little bit stressful already. I don't know why, especially because we are established. I think the assignments are somehow more involved this semester that we have to do there.
Mm-hmm.
And it involves more collaboration, which I didn't really have to do last semester. So I think that's the one thing I'm trying to work through and get that settled. And once I have that figured out, I'll be fine. So that's a lot, but everything else is going really well. I'm really liking my classes. I'm very, very happy to be back with Dr. Story. I've missed that so much. When you're in it, it feels way too much. You're just drowning, basically, because she wants you to know everything you possibly can. It's so hard to take that all in, I guess. But having the semester without it was I felt lost. I'm really happy to be back. So my hope is that I can keep it together because I let her classes get the best of me. Definitely.
Yeah. They definitely become the priority.
Yeah. But that's okay.
We learn a lot in the classes, so it's worth
we
it.
do. It's definitely
Oh
worth
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Joe, you want to share your hopes and fears for this semester?
Oh boy, my hope for this semester, the spring semester 2024, is that I learn as much as I can from my practicum site, because I love my practicum advisor, and I love the site that I'm currently in, so I just want to sponge all the information, just throw me right into the ocean, and let me absorb all the information. I think that I would like to balance my hobbies more with my schoolwork, And my fear is that I'll just evolve into gaming instead of doing hobbies in my free time.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
TikTok for me.
Not even that, just like my PlayStation 5 is just going to be my like emotional support, like lifeline.
Yeah.
When I should be doing more like productive hobbies.
There
Yeah.
are less productive hobbies.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Take it at that.
Yeah, it can be, like Tori said, it can be hard to find time for hobbies. So that's definitely something.
When the
that you have to
question was like,
focus on.
what are your hobbies? I was like,
I was like, what are you talking about? What are the
cooking, but I do that to have dinner. So I
She
don't
loves
really
to
know if
survive.
that's all.
What do you do during the semester? What do you do to relax? And I'm like,
Yeah.
relax?
What?
I lay down.
I,
But what
I
do you
go
do?
to sleep.
Like-
When I have free time, I sleep.
I take a shower. I'm like, no activities. Nothing. I hang
Yeah.
out. You need activities.
Yeah.
Like other times.
My dad was gonna buy me a PS4. So I would like do something fun because I've been playing Fortnite. So he literally was like looking on Facebook Marketplace. Because when I'm home, I'll like play video games. And like at school, I only do
It's
homework.
like, please God.
No, so for real,
Get
he was like, my
kids some
daughter's
fun.
crazy.
That's so funny.
So I'm gonna have him listen to this to be
Though.
like, see, it's not just me. Like we don't get
It
to have
is just
hobbies.
her.
God, everyone's the
It's
same.
just Tori.
Stop.
Get her the PS4.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jeff.
I really wish my parents would come over and be like, son, it's time to do
Get you a
Fortnite.
PS4.
My dad loves me. My parents, that's just how they are. They're like,
That's true.
We should start like an esports team and the CPS program.
Nancy, I feel like you have to go.
What's the question?
Oh yeah.
Hi,
Yeah. Hopes and fears for this semester.
we'll start with fears. My fear has been with my practicum already, getting up early enough to get to my practicum. I've already
Yeah.
been thinking about moving back to Syracuse
Oh my
next
god.
year so that I don't have to wake up super early to
Mm.
go to Syracuse.
Yeah.
Like, after this, I'm driving back to Syracuse and staying the night at a friend's house, so I don't have to get up at 6 in the morning.
Oh my
Not even
gosh.
6; it'd be like 5:30 in the morning to make it there at like 7:45. So
How
that's
far is your site?
it's like 40 minutes.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, it's easier.
Where is your site?
North Syracuse, Gillette Middle School.
Hmm.
Yes. And this actually has made me solidify that I'm going to work in an elementary school
Ooh.
because
Oh.
they start later. And
Oh my God, stop.
That's exactly. I was like, yep. Now we already, because before that I wasn't sure. I'm like, nope. Now I know. Elementary
You
school is
are
going to be
so
where
funny.
I'm going.
But the research says that elementary schools should be the ones that start earlier. So
Yes.
maybe eventually they'll
Little
take that
flip.
into
Yeah,
account.
what if
and
it
flip.
flips?
Well, apparently
Then
if
we'll
you
go
were-
the other way. We'll go to
You
high
don't do
school.
that.
Huh?
They start school at a normal time in Finland, and their elementary kids get 75 minutes of recess a day.
Oh, yeah?
That's
It's
lovely.
an ideal world.
I love
so
recess.
Why are we
Maybe we'll
trusting the
adopt
Finland
this.
study?
Maybe we'll adopt that. I don't know. I read it yesterday.
And so what am I looking forward to for this semester?
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this sexual trauma class is going to go.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Mhm. I'm very interested to see the pathway this is going to take. And I think it's going to be really important because most people probably don't take classes
No.
specifically on sexual trauma, and
And not with
it's such a
Dr.
prevalent
Jody
issue.
Mullen.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Jody
I mean, I'm
Mullen.
a big
Mostly
fan.
you have a class that kind of touches on it, but you don't
Right.
have a class that's specifically towards it, and it's so prevalent nowadays.
Mhm.
So I think it's so important that we're going to be getting this experience so that we're going to be kind of like little experts in our schools
Yeah.
and be able to be like, this is what the research shows. We got this.
Yeah, I'm super excited to go to a school and actually feels like you can do something about it almost. Right.
Mhm.
All right, how are we doing with our pictures?
I'm
Oh,
done.
I'm done.
I don't know how to
Yours are
do the
definitely worse than
hands.
everybody else's.
Can't do any better than I've
I don't even
already
have
done.
hands.
All right.
I gotta do hands.
My body's a
Who needs
triangle.
hands?
All right, let's do some show and tell.
Now when your arms like that.
All right, who should go first? Let's do alphabetical. Joe.
So for the audio listeners, which is does everyone just listen to the audio?
Yeah, we didn't
Wow.
videotape, so.
I was just staring at this TV So yeah, for the audio listeners,
They're all the audio ones. No, they're charging extra.
He's sticking with
$20
it.
a month. You get to
Sitting
see our
outside.
face. You get the full video, full experience.
for the true fans, so I drew myself very idealistically. I have sunglasses. I have a epic flow going on. My flow is the same color as my Cocker Spaniel. It's not at the moment, but I hope to eventually have the money and proficiency in the field to dye my hair that, and then have a Cocker Spaniel.
I can say you have a dog.
And I would like to would take that dog for walks near a body of water, preferably a lake. And those are the goals.
Awesome.
All
right.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Why are your arms so long and squiggly, and why are you purple?
Well,
And why are you? He was in the lake.
Right.
I feel like art is. I'm trying to think of a smart answer.
Subjective.
Art is great at showing my emotions, and my body is happy.
So you're feeling purple?
Yes.
Exactly.
I get the squiggly arms though. I feel like when I'm happy, that's what it feels like.
Just get the magic time in the arms.
Yeah.
All right. I'm next alphabetically. All right.
I'm bald.
That makes sense.
I'm not bald. Yellow hair. Blonde hair.
Like stops.
You're
Sorry,
very,
there's like a hard stop. I don't
you
know.
have very realistic goals, Margaret.
Oh.
All right.
Balding early.
So, this is me. I drew, so the first thing I drew was this, which is supposed to be like a law, a bill. So, because I just, like, in my career, I feel like eventually I'd want to, like, influence policy
Mm.
on either a state or national level. And that goes along with up here, I do the Capitol building, because I'm very into politics, and that's something that I feel like would be very satisfying to me, to be involved in that in some way. Probably influencing policy. I drew a money symbol because I want to make money in the field.
I like money.
That's something that's important, I feel like. It's not important, I don't want it to be important, but I just feel like I think about it.
You
Because
gotta pay the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, realistically.
Gotta pay the bills.
You
to
gotta
write the
somehow
bills.
fly to
Oh.
Washington,
Ooh.
D.C.
Yeah.
to make some change,
You
so.
gotta have some like snazzy Italian shoes if you're gonna go to DC.
Yep.
I drew this as like a board because I want to be involved in like leadership positions in the field. 'Cause I feel like in my future, what I think of is that kind of stuff and not like the school stuff necessarily, which is, I mean, I do want to work in the school, but that's kind of the end game, I feel like, for me. It's what I feel like would be the most satisfying. And then I wrote NIASP and NASP because those are the state national associations, and I feel like I want to be involved with those in some way. I drew this. This is my home, and I drew, that's Morgan and future kids.
Oh!
Where are your
And-
future kids, Jay?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
And
You're
I
just
I'm
smart.
Like that.
What
the heck?
All I need is a cocker
He
spaniel.
might not want kids.
No,
Leave him
remember,
alone.
Where is
counseling
why?
last semester he said last semester in counseling he literally said, "Oh yeah, for when I'm ready to have kids," and we're all like, "What? We're babies." He's not even talking about
He's
kids.
married. He's
Yeah,
being
what the
married.
heck?
I'm literally like,
What are you gonna do?
Me and Tori are like, we need to find love.
no, I'm like, I'm not ready.
I'm sure the wife's just swimming in the lake.
Yeah, she is.
With the babies.
Me and my
Oh,
new
no.
Okay,
arms,
Marcus
my
is
cocker
the-
spaniel.
Okay.
But yes, Marcus.
So
your dreams.
I've got a clock here because I want to make sure that I have as much time as I want to dedicate to the family and not get too involved in my work because I feel like that happens a lot and I just get too invested in the work. And I just want to make sure that I have time to relax and time to spend with the family. And I have this on, which is a sweatshirt that I saw the other day at a store, but I forgot to get it. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. But it says it's okay to just relax. And I feel like
Aw.
that's something that I need to keep in mind a lot.
Yes.
Or also go bald.
Or maybe both.
Or maybe both.
All right. Next is Nasia. Alphabetically.
Okay.
That is so sweet.
Corner son, like, with that.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I
Looks so
drew
pretty.
me with a clipboard with some report and a test kit, which is probably the Whisk or Waste or KBC because I hate the DOS. I doubt I'll ever use the Woodcock. And those are the only ones I've learned so far. But yes. I drew the White House because I'd like to move to DC in like 5-ish years. We'll see. And be a school psychologist down there because, especially in Virginia, you can private practice down there, and I think that'd be kind of cool. I also drew a plane because I'm also interested in moving to Arizona. Because
So is that after DC?
I don't know. We'll see. They're both good options, and so I didn't draw any kids or husband or anything because I don't have any love life. But I would foresee that. But right now, I have school psychology family members in that area, and Dr. Charles Barrett said if I ever want a job down there, hit him up. So
Awesome.
That'll be the plan, I think.
Awesome.
Networking.
That's so cool.
What family members do you have?
I have a cousin that lives in Maryland that's a school psychologist that will be going to NASP together next week.
Oh, awesome. That's so fun. Is that part of what motivated you to go into the field?
No, actually. No? I was trying to hold out. I really wanted forensic psych. I was trying to avoid school psych.
I feel like my mom's a teacher and you like try to avoid what your family has gone into.
I was like, I don't want to be a copycat. Oh, you're okay. Yeah. You're a school psychologist. I knew you were a school psychologist, and now I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
No. I was like, I'm trying to find my own thing, but this happened. This fell into place. So
good thing. All right. Is that any more to explain?
That's it. That's all the pictures.
Awesome.
You got my whole future life there.
That's all, folks.
I guess I showed it to you guys. This is me. I have a triangle body and no hands. And for everybody listening, you don't know what I look like, some of you. I got bangs over break. So I'm keeping the bangs, I think.
Love it.
I have the bangs drawn in the picture.
Your whole life?
I don't know how old I am in this, so
we didn't get a timeline.
I have my regular hair color already, still, but I'm actually going gray. So I've been finding a lot of gray hairs lately.
It's another fear for this semester.
Yes, that is a very large fear. Every time I see one, I send it to my mom. I say, "Oh my god!" But I'm standing in front of like a one-room schoolhouse. I don't want to work there. I would like a slightly larger school, but I don't have the artistic skills for that. And so next to me is a cat, and his eyes are glowing because I couldn't get the right color. Because I would love to have a cat in the future, because I've had them forever. And then there's someone in the window of my one-room schoolhouse, and they're saying that all of our students are reading in the 60th or higher percentile.
Ooh.
I didn't want to get too high. I was thinking 90th, but I was like, that's a lot. Maybe not for a one-room schoolhouse.
Is the percentile being compared to only the people in the one room school?
No.
The people in the one.
No, that's against national norms.
Wow.
That's all of our kids are really, really on it. And that's all just tier 1 instruction. I'm out of a job, actually.
Tier 1 instruction in a one-room schoolhouse
Yeah.
is just like tier 3 instruction.
No, guys, but imagine it's not a one-room schoolhouse.
I have one more question. Is that the only student in your one room?
No,
That's why the reading's so good.
Staff.
Oh, okay.
That's my principal? I don't know. That's someone, not a kid though. And then next to me is a pile of money. So similar to Marcus, I want to have money because I have student loans to pay off that are going to cost me a lot. And I'm also from Long Island, and if I go back there, it's like really expensive to live there. So money would be nice, but then also I would be getting paid that money out of the school budget, which is $1 zillion.
School is this?
Oh my.
This is my goal school.
I also love that in Marcus's picture, he drew like I think a few like money symbols.
I have a pile.
You have a
Dollar bills.
Scrooge
Well, because
McDuck.
I used to watch that a lot as a kid, so I used to love DuckTales. So that's my inspiration. But yeah, so I just get like a little bit of like a chunk out of the $1 zillion. Like I'll take a couple mil a year, you know, like that works. Inflation and such. And yeah, no family or kids or spouse or anything. I kind of forgot, but I'm not planning on kids, so we'll keep them out of there. Sorry.
Boyfriend.
Oh yeah, no, he's there. He's actually doing cybersecurity.
He's busy.
He's busy.
Yonder.
He's super smart, so he's just not pictured.
Right. I also just focused on myself. There wasn't room for anyone else. I also was thinking very recent. I wasn't like, so my goal is to really get the CAS. So if you can see, my name tag says Tori Perez MS CAS. So I graduated with the advanced certificate. That was very important to me. And then I have a dog, and it's gonna be a therapy dog for my district. So he has a little certification too. I would love to have a therapy dog for my district.
Does he come with a neck?
Or a body?
There wasn't enough time. Leave him alone. And then this is my cat Dorothea, and she's gonna live forever and ever with me. And then I'm not gonna lose my sunshine. I keep her. I stay happy, and I like the fields. That was my ideal world.
Right. Well, thank you all for coming on the podcast. It was an honor to have you all here. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
That was a great conversation we had with the fellows, and I'm so glad that they could join us. They've been a great group to work with over the past semester. I've been lucky to have the three of them to work with on different projects and to be able to collaborate with them. And I think we've got a lot of good projects in the works, and I have faith that they'll be good leaders for the next group of fellows that come in. All three of them, Tori, Joe, and Nasia, are passionate about the field, and they're very willing to jump into things, and they were all at NIASP with us. Nasia went to NASP. They've been going to schools and giving presentations. There's so many different things that they're involved with in spreading the idea of school psychology and recruiting people and learning more about the field, and I feel like they're way above where we were last year in terms of their experience and their exposure. So I have no doubt that they'll be great in the field and in the future of the program. So for our DEI segment this week, we've been talking a lot in our class with Dr. Story about social justice, and it's kind of framed around Social Justice in the Schools, which is a book by Dr. Charles Barrett, who we had recently to talk to the Syracuse City School District psychologists. And we've been talking about how to engage with families and how to get to know families better and how to increase the success of students through that engagement and through that cooperation. And one of the things that's important with social justice is to get to know the cultures of the families that you're working with, especially when you're working with diverse populations of students. And a lot of students in my district, in the Syracuse City School District, are refugees and come from other countries where they've experienced violence or they've experienced violence in their home communities. So something that has been a big conversation in the news and among our peers and even on campus in the last few days has been the conflict between Israel and Palestine. And I think it's important to view this through a social justice lens and think about what we as school psychologists need to be aware of and how we can approach this topic in the schools if there are students that need mental health support or are confused by this topic or just want someone to talk to. So NASP, National Association of School Psychologists, has some guidance around how to talk to students and some steps to take when dealing with international conflicts and violence, and especially when that hits close to home for students, whether they have loved ones that are involved or if they have some personal connection or if they have experienced violence themselves. So I think that it's important to go over this guidance and just kind of talk about it and think about how we might use it in practice as many conflicts like this are happening in the world, and this is an especially prevalent one right now. So the first thing that NASP says is to keep explanations developmentally appropriate when you're talking to students about this. So depending on what age level the student is and what developmental level they're at, it'll affect how you approach this topic. So for very young students that are in elementary school, mainly you just want to respond to the questions that they ask. So you're not going up to them and talking about this conflict on your own and informing them of it. You're kind of being there to clear things up for them and to respond to their questions when they're confused. When you're answering their questions, you want to avoid details that are unnecessary, especially ones that could be graphic or violent. You want to focus on simple and reassuring statements that are more likely to help them feel safe and secure instead of making them more anxious or confused. And you want to make sure that you're clarifying any misconceptions that they have so that they know what the truth is. It's not necessarily our place to be educating them on this, but if they're coming to us and talking about it and expressing things that might not be true, then it is appropriate to be clarifying some big misconceptions. But as students start to get older, the way you approach it might be a little different. So when students are middle school aged, you might want to start to talk about what safety supports are in place in their school and in their communities to help them feel safe and know what the real risks are. And when they're feeling scared by things like this in the news, they know who they can lean on and what adults are in their community that can help them feel safe. And start to talk about what's realistic and what's not in terms of separating what's a real threat and what's kind of not an actual personal threat to them, just so you can help them have that feeling of safety. Because if they don't feel safe, then it's going to be very hard for them to function in school and in life in general. When students get to the high school age and they start to really develop that mature understanding of the world, try to provide the facts needed to kind of assess their level of personal threat, like I talked about. Then allow for conversations about this stuff if students want to talk about it, if students want to talk about the political side of the conflict and kind of the ramifications of the conflict. Allow for those conversations to happen, whether it's between peers or with adults in a controlled environment where they can learn more and they can express their feelings and express how they think about this conflict, and also just be there to validate their feelings. So all the counseling skills that school psychologists are trained in of stating their feelings and being there to support them without kind of interfering with their feelings by stating what we're thinking or what we're feeling. And then when we're dealing with certain student populations, it's important to take some risk factors into account and check in with those students who are at a high risk for being influenced by all international conflicts, and especially this one. So for this conflict, students who have connections to Israel and Palestine, there's many ways for them to have connections, and you just want to kind of be in touch with the cultures and the backgrounds of all the families in your districts, especially if there's a large refugee population. Just being in touch with where their connections are, and for this conflict, checking in on those students that have connections to Israel and Palestine. And an important connection they may have is having loved ones in those areas that may be personally affected by this conflict. That's a huge risk factor, and they'll definitely may need some support from the professionals at their school if they have loved ones that are being affected by the violence. Students who have experienced violence themselves, when they're seeing all this violence on the news and being talked about, that could be traumatizing for them because they've experienced so much violence themselves. Students with mental illness concerns like depression or PTSD could be at high risk. And it's important for all these students at risk to protect, and all students in general, to protect them from bullying or harassment that might result as this conflict gets talked about a lot. There could be an increased chance of bullying in connection with it. There's a list that NASP has of possible emotional responses that students could have, and some ways to deal with that and to help students who are having those responses. So a common response is fear for safety, and we kind of talked about having students identify people that can help them feel safe in their lives and the safety structures that are in support in their school. How schools are one of the safest places they can be, and in their homes and communities. Students could feel a loss of control, which could result in some increase in behavioral problems. So they may want to take back control in other areas of their life. So when they're feeling this loss of control, I know for me even, it just feels kind of hopeless, and you just kind of want to have control in some area of your life because it feels so hopeless that there's so much death happening and so much violence happening, and you can't really do much about it to influence that. And then anger could be a possible emotion, and that could be taken out on loved ones, but it's something that you kind of, maybe through counseling, could help to identify what's really going on there and the underlying feelings, because anger could be masking other emotions that are happening, so helping them to identify their feelings and how they can better cope with those feelings instead of being angry about them. Students could feel isolated, like they're the only ones who feel this way or are concerned about this. And maybe something, if you're seeing a large population of students that are concerned about this or talking about this, maybe some group counseling could help them feel less alone. And that would depend on your school and your resources and your comfort with social emotional groups, but that's something that we're working on right now in our class, in our social emotional intervention class. So that could be a possible solution if students are feeling very isolated and if there's a big need for it in your school. Students could also feel confused, especially if they're younger, like separating what's reality and what's fantasy and what's on social media and what's real and what's fake. So just talking through the facts with an adult and how to research and figure out what the facts are, if they want to, could help, and just differentiating what is not real and what's definitely not real. Like if they're see a lot of depictions of violence like in video games, just differentiating what's real and what's not. And then there might be a hypervigilance from students, especially if they're concerned about loved ones. So this could mean lack of sleep or trouble focusing in school because they're always trying to research and figure out if their loved ones are safe and having updates on the conflict. And that can take a heavy toll even on us as we have a mature view of the world and we are in grad school, and when we hear about these conflicts and we see it in the news, it can be a heavy burden to have all these responsibilities and also have these international conflicts to think about. So those are some of the common emotional responses that students can have. So here's some recommendations that NASP has in terms of how educators and caregivers can help. So it is always helpful to reaffirm safety. So I talked about this a couple times, but checking in on at-risk students and seeing how they're doing, seeing how they're feeling about this. If they're feeling unsafe, identifying some safety measures that are in place in their school or in their community, and preventing any harassment that might happen because of stereotypes that sometimes flare up when stressful situations like this happen. It's important to make time to talk. So if students want to share their feelings, you want to be available or have someone available, whether it's you or the school counselor or their teacher or the social worker. Just have conversations and let their questions kind of guide the conversation instead of coming in with like a plan of what you want to talk about. Just let their needs be the center of what you do. And then encourage social connection. So if peers want to talk to each other about this, it might be better if it's in a controlled environment with an adult. But it's always better to feel connected to other people instead of feeling isolated in times like this. It's also important to acknowledge and normalize the feelings that they have. So supporting them in the appropriate expression of emotions, whether you're modeling them or praising them for doing that. So some of those could be using I statements, naming your feelings, listening to others without judging their feelings. And then just know as a professional that it's hard to say the right thing. So you can't say the right thing all the time. And if you don't know something, you can say, I don't know. So if a student asks you when it's going to end or why this is happening, you can say, I don't know, because you don't have to have all the right answers. Just try to state their feelings like we do in counseling and reaffirm that it's kind of normal to have these reactions, whether it's anger or sadness or fear, that a lot of students have reactions like that, and it's important for them to know that they're not alone in feeling like that. And then try to maintain a normal routine. This can be especially important for students that struggle with having unstructured environments. If their routine is kind of thrown out of whack, just try to keep that routine in place and use it as an opportunity to emphasize things like proper hygiene and proper sleep and proper nutrition so that they're taking care of themselves even if they're stressed out or confused or scared. Something that might be really important in today's day and age is limiting exposure to media and social media. So limiting the amount of time that students are watching the news. Maybe if you're a parent, maybe watching the news with your child can be an important thing so you can have an honest discussion about what's happening and the facts instead of letting them just be confused on their own. Find activities that can replace social media time so that they're not spending too much time. I know we probably all spend too much time on social media, just looking at what's happening and getting stressed out by it. So finding activities that can replace that, because social media isn't always the best place to get information like that, and it can be more of a stressor than it is hopeful. So limiting that amount of time, especially for children who are developing, is a good idea. And just encourage good social media habits of figuring out what sources are valid and what's true and how to research once you see a claim on social media so that you're not just believing everything you see, because there's so much information out there. And especially with TikTok, which is probably the most popular social media for students now, everyone is just saying stuff. There's not really validity behind a lot of what they're saying. Everyone's just on there saying their opinions, which can be good and getting a lot of different perspectives, but it can be confusing and you get caught in not being able to validate everything and not having the time to research everything. So it's important not to just take what everyone's saying and believing it. Then it's important to monitor emotional states of students. Some students could act out aggressively or have immature behaviors, and it's important to realize that could just be a reaction to stress. So having that sympathy and knowing where it might be coming from and structuring your responses and interventions based on that. Something that Nas brought up is that some students have a hard time at bedtime when there's stress going on in their lives. So be flexible about those situations. So if students want to sleep in a different room or sleep with their family members or have a different routine, it might be a good idea to be flexible about that. Maybe they want someone to sit with them while they go to sleep. It doesn't mean that will be their routine forever. It helps them get through stressful times. And then no serious signs of trauma response. So most of these reactions are normal, but sometimes they're not able to cope even with the help of caring adults. So they might need more intensive help, especially if there's serious behavior shifts for more than 2 weeks. So you should just keep an eye out for that. If a student's exhibiting violent behaviors towards others, schools have procedures for doing threat assessments. And if a student is suicidal, obviously schools will have steps in place to do a risk assessment and follow the procedures based on that. But it's important to keep an eye out for that stuff. And then just teaching adaptive coping strategies for dealing with stress. Some of the things that were listed on NASP were mindfulness, deep breathing, journaling, doing puzzles, listening to music, movement in some way, and talking to friends. And then another important thing is facilitating youth advocacy especially for older students. So if there are peers that are really being affected by this conflict and maybe they're being bullied, teaching students how to be an ally to their peers is important. Providing consultation to staff members about best practices when working with affected students can be really important. School psychologists are uniquely positioned to provide professional development to staff members, so it might be a good role for us. And in a more politically active way, maybe you can teach students how to engage with politicians, like at town halls, or there could be opportunities for fundraising for humanitarian efforts related to the conflict, and that can be a healthy way for students to deal with their stress and kind of feel like they're contributing to lessening the suffering that's happening there. And then it's important for adults that are taking care of these students to practice self-care on their own and make sure that they're engaging in activities that can help them deal with stress and focusing on themselves as well. Some of those boundaries that can be put in place so that they're not constantly stressed about this. And the only way that you can be effective for students is if you're taking care of yourself. So yeah, that's kind of some of the guidance that NASP has issued in terms of international conflicts and helping students deal with current events in general. I think it's just really important to engage with families and see where they're at. That's an important part too. And collaborating with families, school districts and families should always be collaborating so that you know if students have personal connections and what you can be doing together to help students deal with that. So yeah, definitely an important topic for the current moment in our world, and it feels like there's often things that are influencing our students, whether it's COVID or the Black Lives Matter movement. There's so many things that are impacting them that we don't see in school necessarily, but are on their minds and could be affecting their performance in school.
I think it's important to, just like kind of in summation, to just give the students a lot of grace and a little leeway in the way they act and the way they perform academically. And like you talked about sleep, Marcus. I know in both of my placements so far, there are a couple kids that if they start to fall asleep in school or they are sleeping, the staff just lets them. Like they know that there are these extraneous factors that they can't control, the kids can't control. If they're going to get some sleep, it might as well be in school where they're feeling safe and there are a lot of adults around them to just kind of shield them, I guess, from whatever's going on outside. And another thought I had was, obviously as practicum students and interns, this is a huge overstep, but if you're somebody who's established in your position and you have a good relationship with your staff and the families in your schools, even just sending out an email or like sending home a phone call, like, if you or your student are struggling with this and not understanding, what to do, what the resources are, this is a safer space to talk about it. It doesn't have to be handled solely at home or in like community agencies. It's a conversation that can be had in the school buildings and on school grounds. And there are so many more adults available to the kids than just their families. And I think, at least like I would assume for my parents, that would be reassuring to hear. I don't know. I just think it might be useful to extend the olive branch in a way. Even though it might seem like a given, some parents just might not be comfortable assuming that.
Yeah, I think it's, for parents, it must be a difficult thing to figure out how to broach the topic with their kids and figure out how to talk about it. So I think most parents would be very happy to know that the schools can be supportive in that way and kind of partner with them in helping their children deal with that.
It's also important to be bipartisan about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really emphasizing that your personal beliefs are not influencing the way that you treat the kids and you treat the matter as a whole. I know it can be very easy to let that slip, but especially with something like this, it's really important to keep your own beliefs at bay and focus more so on the welfare of the students and of the other people around you.
Mm-hmm. And I think related to that school professionals can often be scared about handling these topics and talking about these topics with students because they're so controversial, and it can be so kind of scary to like not want to say the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it should be that scary because it's not necessarily about making statements or like actually debating these topics. It's just about having the students feel heard and being able to validate their feelings and give them the support that they need. It's not necessarily about, coming to solutions about the topic or coming to a common understanding. It's about helping their mental health so that they can cope with the stress associated with it, which is something that everyone can benefit from no matter what their personal feelings are.
In a way, it's just an extension and a more focused approach to what we should be doing every day.
Mm-hmm.
Creating that safe space is a given, I would think. And this is just kind of pushing it a little more, not pushing it onto the kids or onto the parents, but showing that this is here and it can be used and it should be utilized. Like, it's not something that students and parents have to be afraid of. And even like other staff members also, I think it's easy to forget that they are also people who are experiencing this at the same time that everybody else is, and it's scary. And they probably also don't know how to go about it with their students, and if their students have questions, they probably don't know if it's okay to answer them or, to say, I don't know. So just really extending the offer and the space to everybody around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. As school psychologists, we're also kind of tasked with helping our colleagues, helping the teachers and the other professionals in the building, and we consult with them. We help them, connect them with the resources that they need. So if they need some support as well, I think it's a good place for that, and it is a opportunity that can be extended to everyone. And to your point that we should be doing stuff like this every day, students deal with current events like this a lot, and they're not always as high profile as this conflict is, mm-hmm. But that's why it's so important to engage with families and see what they're dealing with, because like I know in my school there's already been students I've worked with that have talked about police violence or like their family members being killed or mm-hmm. not being able to see their family members. So that's something that a lot of students deal with, and it's something that we can always be talking about and validating their feelings so that they're not going through that alone, and especially talking with families and seeing what the students are dealing with so that if they're not comfortable talking about it, at least we know what some of the stress behind that situation is. All right, well, thank you for listening to this episode. We're so happy to have the fellows on, and I'm glad we got to talk about this situation a little bit because it's definitely something that's being talked about a lot right now, and I think school psychologists need to be ahead of the curve in figuring out how, even if we're not seeing it directly being talked about by our students, how we're going to handle that situation when it does get talked about.
Right.
All right. See you next time, where we'll have Lauren Giles and Michael Donato on, and we're very excited to talk to them as well about internship, about the differences between internship and practicum, and a little about NIASP and advocacy efforts for bills related to school psychology. See you then.
Thanks, everyone.